cross-qualification analysis. And this is something I think we touched on a little bit last time. I interviewed Danny, but hey, I'll tell you, that was over a year ago, and there's a lot of people on this call that didn't hear that call. So walk us through strategy number 4 in terms of how to get more realtors more referrals from realtors and deliver more value to your realtor partners.
So the first thing to know about this one is that it can really only happen in the context of a cross-qualification event, which means that we already have a really deep partnership with an agent, and they're asking us to cross-qualify all of their clients that they're going to be accepting the offer for. So these are listing agents now that we're talking about, not the buyer's agent. So it's a completely different kind of channel of business than is kind of the typical one. And what we communicate to the listing agent is, first, the value of a cross-qualification, being able to have a very apples-to-apples comparison of all buyers. We communicate that not all pre-approvals are created equal, and more importantly, oftentimes the cash offer is not the offer that is the best offer. It's intuitive for an agent that is looking to sell the house as quickly as possible, as confidently as possible, to just take that $10,000, $15,000 less cash offer and deal with all of the leverage that cash buyer brings over a transaction, because they maybe feel like they have a little bit more power over requests for repairs and things like that. And instead we say, well, what if we can show you, basically confidently provide you with details about all the potential buyers so that your seller really can make a clear choice. And not only that, in the midst of those pre-approvals, if we're asked for it, we don't actually push this pre-approval presentation out for every single cross-qualification, because we feel it's, it's not the way we earn business. It's only if we're asked for a competitive rate quote, will we provide one, and if we are asked for that, you can bet that it's coming from a total cost analysis, where we essentially take the competitor's offer, the one that they have been communicated by the competitor, and that's our number 1, and then we show them 3 potential options that we are able to provide that would be as a close a correlation to what they're being offered by the competitor lender. And then this, most of the time when we submit this, well, when they have asked us for a rate quote and we provided them the total cost analysis, the first thing they say is, oh my gosh, this is so cool. And the second thing they say is, why didn't my guy give me this? And how this is valuable to the realtor is, they want us to work on their listing. They want us to be the lender because they can trust us. They know that we're going to communicate, keep them informed, and they believe, just like they do with their buyers, that their listings are in better hands with us. So by communicating that we can capture more of those buyers through this presentation, they're more likely to keep us on those cross-quals and deepen that relationship.
So, folks, this is another massive strategy. So many loan officers are, only focused on working with buyer realtors. So this is a strategy. If someone's a listing agent, which many of the top producers are, you can bring a strategy where I'm going to provide this cross-qual. Mortgage Coach does a great job of showing a competitive strategy, showing the monthly payment difference, and then blowing up over time. And by the way, it's going to become a requirement that you show the cost over 60 months, 5 years, in August. You guys can start doing that now. So you can take something that's a future compliance requirement, and you can start showing that now, and you can start doing that in a way that's a competitive differentiator. It converts more business, and it gets you more referrals from realtors. So, folks, I hope you guys connected the dots on this one. I mean, this is boom. I mean, this is a huge explosion if you master this strategy and if you're able to win the confidence of top listing agents to drive this, as Danny said, a whole separate business channel. By the way, I don't know, I don't want to ask anything that's proprietary, but like, how many of these do you guys get per month? Is this something you get a couple of, or is this something where you do a lot of it?
Cross-qual requests, we probably do maybe 15 a week. But sometimes it's like 3 or 4 for the same house, and then we're just providing that apples-to-apples comparison to the seller.
And when you deliver a Mortgage Coach experience, which I realize you said you don't necessarily do it with everyone, but when you do deliver this cross-qual, deliverable in this amazing way, what kind of conversion rates are you getting where they're saying, hey, I want to work with you?
So we're converting about 30% of the cross-quals, and we use the Mortgage Coach for every one of those conversions. So it's hard to say what it would be like without the total cost analysis conversation, but 30% of cross-qual conversions was a huge, it's a huge number relative to what we were expecting.
Yeah, well, huge opportunity for everybody on this call. I mean, this is one of those things that this could be an extra 3 loans a month, an extra 5 loans a month, and there's really no reason that this can't be 1 extra loan a month for everybody on this call. Hopefully, you'll turn any fear you have around having this conversation into fuel. You're going to learn how to do this, and you're going to start doing it, and you're going to start doing it this week. So again, we'll also make sure we touch on the technical elements of this in our Thursday call. So Thursday, 9 o'clock, we'll get into details on that. Hey, Sam, anything you want to say before we move on to our last strategy of the day?
No, I would only say that, fundamentally, we believe listing agents really drive lead generation. Even when they have teams and they have buyer's agents, the listing is pretty much the start of everything, so it's foundational to lead generation. So, being a trusted advisor, helping a listing agent decide which buyer they should take. It's not always the highest offer. Is super important. And frankly, we do go after listing agents when we have a buyer and we don't know the listing agent. We go after them in a very, very specific way because we want them to start, utilizing us and sending leads our way. So there's a whole strategy around that, going after listing agents. But once you know that they are foundational to the lead generation in the real estate business, that's really, a lot of people say, well, how many buyer's agents do you have, and how many sides did the buyer's agents do? We're kind of going the other way. We're going to the listing agents, and then they have teams that have buyer's agents. So just something important to keep in mind.
And we call that our captive audience marketing because the listing agent in that transaction has to work with us, so they're automatically exposed to our process.